Welcome, second grade, and thank you for joining us in our discussion on earth science. Now I would like to ask the students how often this affects them, and the answer is all the time, 24/7. This is because the water we drink, the ground we walk on, and build our houses on is all affected by earth science. We are studying things about our planet that has housed life for millions of years. When you look at a globe, you see all sorts of bumps and dips in the land, or geography, which are the physical characteristics of the land. These are landforms. The types of landforms are mountains, plains, plateaus, valleys, and hills. Mountains are probably the most noticeable landform because they are the largest. They are tall, rough, and pointy in structure. The two main mountain ranges in the United States are the Rocky Mountains and the Appalachian Mountains. Some animals that live in these areas could be vultures, llamas, and mountain goats. Plains are very different from mountains because the land is completely flat with no great changes in structure. The plains are best used for growing crops and raising animals. In natural plain habitats, some of the animals you could find are buffaloes, prairie dogs, and coyotes. Plateaus are, in a way, a mix of both. They are characterized by flat land surrounded with steep slopes. This landform accounts for 45% of the Earth's surface. In low altitudes, which basically means low in height, farming is the main use. In high altitudes, meaning they are higher in the air, livestock grazing might be more of a use. Valleys are usually found beside mountains or hills. They are just at lower elevations than the natural ground level. They usually slope downward to form lakes, streams, or lead to oceans. V-shaped valleys are caused by water erosion from rivers, meaning the water physically broke down the mountains. U-shaped valleys are formed by huge icebergs or glaciers that broke down the mountains. You can think of hills as baby mountains or small mountains that have a more rounded structure and less steep slopes. This is probably a very familiar landform because hills are everywhere and spread out all around the other landforms. Hills are caused by activity with the surface pushing up on itself and again erosion. Surface changes directly affect the appearance of the land. Slow surface changes are naturally slow and gradual with time. Here, I would show the students an example of erosion by clicking on the orange word and viewing a short video. Materials on the surface, such as rock, dirt, and plants, are moved to other places by wind, water, and animals. Slow surface changes don't have major differences in appearance right away. Rapid surface changes happen with a big bang or all at once. Some of these processes are landslides, volcanic eruptions, and earthquakes. Because these are rapid changes, there is a major difference in appearance and results in new landforms. Of the types of rapid surface changes, landslides are the least dramatic, but could still be very traumatic. They usually occur on mountains or hills and start at the top, growing bigger as they reach the bottom. Some causes are soil moisture, angle of the slope, and construction, such as drilling. At this point, I would show the class an example of landslide by clicking on the orange link. Everyone has probably heard of a volcano. There are many types, such as composite, which is a cone shape that everyone thinks of, shield volcanoes, which are very wide and short, and calderas, which have a big hole in the top. The core of the Earth is made of really, really hot rock, so hot that in fact it is liquid. This is called magma. The magma is forced through cracks in the Earth's crust that are caused by pressure, and the magma explodes or erupts. At this time, I would make a quick sketch of the basic volcanic structure. The Hawaiian Islands are all islands today because of the volcanic activity there. And here I would show a short clip of a volcano erupting. Finally, earthquakes are caused by the sudden movement of the Earth's crust. They are measured on intensity with a seismometer, 3 being a small earthquake and 7 being an earthquake that causes serious damage. Here I would show another short video on an earthquake and its effects. In addition to landforms and changes with them, on the globe you would also notice all different bodies of water. Wells are drilled and dug into the ground to access the water under the surface. I would explain that a good example of this would be at the beach, when the water is apparent after digging in the sand. This water comes from an aquifer, simply meaning a layer of water under the surface. Water bottles at home might have a picture of springs on them. Springs are basically fresh water that come from rock or from cracks in the Earth's surface, flowing down with gravity. The amount depends on the size of the area containing the springs and the human interaction with them. This water is clear in color to a little brownish from iron deposits. Lakes are simply bodies of fresh water surrounded by land. They are deeper than a pond and not part of the ocean. I would ask the students at this time if everyone recognizes this picture, which is the Great Lakes of Michigan. Rivers are always flowing and narrow, usually fresh water. They flow toward lakes, oceans, and seas. The longest river in the world is the Nile, which is about 4,135 miles long. Oceans are the biggest body of water. They are salt water and cover about 70% of the Earth's surface. The 4 main oceans are the Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, and Arctic. At this time, I would ask the students what they learned, what they thought was the most interesting, and have a small closing discussion. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.